wait. Windows. For me.
Does your castle need new windows? Discover Acclaim Windows and Ensemble Entry Doors. Custom fit and exclusive to Renewal by Andersen. Free consultations. Visit rbarapidcity.com.
Consumers everywhere are loving the benefits of buying locally produced food. Not only is it fresher and more nutritious, it's also good for the local economy. With state-of-the-art facilities throughout the Midwest, the Village Hearth buns you already love are baked and delivered fresh daily to your local grocer. So whether you like unsliced old-fashioned hamburger and hot dog buns or prefer classic white or wheat, just look for the familiar red Village Hearth logo on the package and you've made the right choice. Village Hearth buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Former Notre Dame head coach Lou Holtz passed away today at the age of 89. Holtz went 130-2 over 11 seasons as the head coach of the Fighting Irish, including a national championship in 1988. The AFC champion New England Patriots are releasing four-time Pro Bowl receiver Stephon Diggs, who posted on his Instagram stories of the Patriots, quote, "Thank you for a hell of a year. We family forever," unquote. The Kansas City Chiefs are trading all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams for 4 draft picks, including a first-rounder. The Dallas Cowboys restructured the contracts of quarterback Dak Prescott, receiver CeeDee Lamb, and left guard Tyler Smith in order to get under the salary cap. The Los Angeles Chargers released offensive lineman Mekhi Becton and tight end Will Dissly. The New York Giants released linebacker Bobby Okereke. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We're ready to go on a Wednesday. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. It is always a great day in South Dakota. Let's book that. And let's book some great guests today. We got some good stuff. Summit League Championship starting today. Here we go out of the gate. So welcome in the Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. We are live on YouTube right now, The Nate Brown Show. So bring us up, subscribe to the channel. You've got us, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Midwest Sports Plus, another app you can get. It's really easy to download it. You can watch live games. Really good stuff. Coverage of the high school sports broadcasts all season long on Midwest Sports Plus and the Nate Brown Show live right now. And finally on X, welcome you in. Thanks for watching on X. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. That's where you've got us, at Nate Brown Show on X, and we are live right there. South Dakota Sports Talk Show looks good tonight, really good. We're going to talk to USD head men's basketball coach Eric Peterson. He's in tonight. The Yotes are the 4 seed. They'll play Friday night, 6 o'clock Central against Omaha. Eric Peterson and the Yotes have had quite the season, man. When you think about everybody they got a ton of players injured early, and I want to talk to them about this whole season. They just battle and battle and battle. 16-15, 8-8 in the Summit League. They've got Omaha Friday. We'll talk to Coach Pete coming up. USD head men's basketball coach previewing the Summit League tournament. We'll get to Matt Zimmer as well. Get his read on the entire tournament at the Summit League. He'll be covering it. Jacks, Yotes, and everything in between. SiouxFallsLive.com. Matt Zimmer, he's on tap tonight. We'll go national with Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio's Countdown to Kickoff host. Brian Noe, what's he think of some moves here in the NFL? Am I going to get him endorsing the Kyler Murray move that I want to see to the Minnesota Vikings? Brian Noe is in, Fox Sports Radio live from Vegas. And we'll go high school hoops with Marcus Traxler, Mitchell Republic sports editor Marcus Traxler in, talking hoops, Class B to A to Double A. We'll get you covered tonight. So the Wednesday show looks good from high school to college to the pros. We'll get after it tonight. 605-720-1067 if you want to join the show. It's always more fun that way, I think. I think so. I'm just in here talking to myself and Matt Kearney. That's it, right? 605-720-1067. That's our number. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 great locations, East River, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Stop by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon as well. Great Fun Zone Arcade. Take the kids. Have a great time. Home of everyone's favorite buffet. Your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Barron's Wilson text line open as well. 605-720-1067. That's the number. You've got it. The Barron's Wilson text line, 605-720-1067. Okay, let me go through a couple of things here when it comes to high school basketball. So some Sodak 16 action getting set to go on. Some girls matchups tomorrow. You got some AA coming up Friday, and then you got the boys matchups as well. So it's postseason time. March is here. I asked this question yesterday, and so I want to just revisit this. Sometimes you guys may listen to the beginning. Maybe you don't catch the second hour. My question of the day yesterday, if you didn't answer it, I'll still accept your answers tonight. Which South Dakota State basketball tournament do you follow the most? Which South Dakota State basketball tournament do you follow the most? I just wanted to get a sense for where people are at, because we have such a discrepancy. The AA basketball tournament has been kind of put in a category that says, well, nobody goes to the AA. There's no connection. There's no small towns. It's all the big schools, and it just gets lost in the shuffle. Yet AA basketball is some of the best players, people say, right? So I'm trying to determine, is there going to be a lot of support for AA basketball at the sites, at the tournament sites? You don't see huge crowds. I've talked about this a week ago, what's happened to our huge crowds at state basketball tournaments. So I'm asking the question of the day, and I had a lot of people vote on this. 437 votes. Count them up. 437 votes. Which South Dakota State basketball tournament do you follow the most? Okay? AA, A, or B. And I didn't break it down girls, boys. It's just which one do you have an affinity towards? AA, A, or B. I told you yesterday I've went to the state basketball tournament every single year for the past 25 years, covered it and watching it, just enjoying it, and I've been a AA and A guy. I have not experienced the Bs. I come from a small town atmosphere in Montana, and that's where I was from. I was a small town guy, so I love the small town atmosphere and the towns that come. You turn out the lights in a small town and everybody goes to the state tournament. I think that's special. But it's interesting the way this played out. I have a lot of people that have voted AA, and this is interesting. So I can't put 2 and 2 together. That's not a surprise to you. I can't put 2 and 2 together. AA is getting the most votes on my poll. That you follow the AA the closest. Yet the AA really gets the worst crowds. And that has been the case for a while. I know Sioux Falls gets bigger crowds when the AA is in Sioux Falls. Rapid City AA tournaments have been sparse sometimes. I mean, when you're not having a West River team, for example, that maybe makes it, when they've gone to the Sodak 16 thing, it is sparse sometimes. So help me with that. Are we just watching AA from afar? I'm getting people voting tonight. I'm still getting a lot of AA votes. I got AA just now. I got another AA. Here's one. I'm a small towner. Give me the Bees all day. P.S. They do belong in the Huron Arena. So, okay, so you got to keep it in Huron. So you want to keep the girls in Huron, and you want to keep the boys in Aberdeen? Is that what I'm hearing? So what do you think the poll results are here? Let's take a look. Which South Dakota State basketball tournament do you follow the most? That's my question of the day. Now, I have been attacked on this question of the day on social media. It's a dangerous world. It's they thought I was stirring something up like this was a controversial question. It's not as deep as you're thinking, everybody. I'm just trying to get a sense for the Bees get huge crowds in Aberdeen. Class A is supported well. You got the medium-sized towns. I've been to some Class A tournaments that have been off the charts, both sides of the state. Sioux Falls Class A is huge. Rapid City Class A has been huge. Double A has not been huge, yet that's our leading vote getter. A leading vote getter. I'm going to talk to the folks in the outlying communities. The outlying communities. We reach a long way on KWSN East River and Fox Sports Rapid City throughout western South Dakota. So you got to chime in here. 38% of the audience follows the Double A the most. That's the leading vote getter today. 33% say the Bees. 29% Class A. The A tournament coming in last. I'm a little surprised by that. Let's see. Listener reaction. I go Class B. Blood, sweat, and tears. That is true. That is true. Let's see. Listener text. I'm going to go Double A. There's another one. I've got one coming in. I love following the Bees in Aberdeen. You should go there, Nate, and experience it once. Yeah, I really should. But I've just stayed in the town that I'm at, or I've covered it across the state, both sides. So I've done Double A and A my whole career here. So I have not been to the Bees in Aberdeen. I do believe that should be on my list. It's kind of like I got two things that I haven't done in this region. I've been here a long time now. I haven't done the College World Series in Omaha, and I think that's something you got to do. Is that correct? Do I have to do the College World Series in Omaha? That's got to be. I'm going to do a segment on that one of these times. I'm going to do a segment on top things you need to do as a South Dakota sports fan. Okay? Top things you need to do. Would the Summit League tournament be in this list starting today? Would the Summit League tournament in Sioux Falls make your list like, you got to experience the Dome Championships for football? Okay, yes, you have to. Some of you maybe haven't. I hope you have. And so you got to go state Bees in Aberdeen. That'll make my list. College World Series, Omaha. Does the Summit League make your list? Let's see. Listener text. I would say you're getting Double A votes because a large portion of your listeners are from Sioux Falls and Rapid City. That could be the case, but I put this out on social media as well, so I do want to make it a little more scientific. I know social media is not experts, but it is out on social media, which we have followers across the state. We're talking B's, A's, across the state. And so I'm getting a lot of texts on the show that Double A gets followed the most, and Double A got the most votes on social media on the Nate Brown Show as well. That's very interesting. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Double A's getting the most votes as the most followed state tournament in South Dakota, but it has the smallest crowds, and usually it's not even close. Usually it's not close. Listener text, the Bees is the best atmosphere. Aberdeen has it all and does a great job. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. So the Bees has the best atmosphere. Just rocking and rolling in Aberdeen. So they're trying to talk me into this. I got to get to this. I got to get to it. Listener text, College World Series is great. We went a few years ago. You have to see the Summer League tournament. Haven't missed a Summer League tournament since it came. Oh, Summit League. That's what you're saying. You have to see the Summit League tournament. That's autocorrect on your phone, so I corrected it for you. The Summit League tournament, is that high on your list? It's a great tournament. That's a great tournament when USD, SDSU are rolling. That's a great tournament, and, of course, it's underway at the Premier Center. Okay, I just wanted to revisit that. I want you to still sound off on that Double A. I don't know how the explanation other than there's probably a lot more population. So they say, well, I follow the double A's. I went to Roosevelt. I went to Lincoln. I went to Stevens, wherever. And so then you follow it. But I'm telling you, the crowds at the venues for double A, the crowd. Now, I will say this. When Mitchell's in town, I got to hand it to you guys. Are you guys listening in Mitchell at all? Anybody connected to Mitchell? When Mitchell's in the show, those guys show up, man. So I do think the double A gets poo-pooed a little bit of, oh, nobody supports. There's no passion. I get it in some of the metros. You kind of get lost to huge schools. Do you have a connection? Is there school spirit these days? I understand that stuff. Mitchell is rocking. And when I saw Yankton a couple of years ago, I saw Yankton in the state championship with the Fightin' Rikins. The Fightin' Rikins. That was rocking. So there are double-A programs that are really, really passionate. So don't get that twisted. Don't get Mitchell, when they're winning, that's not much better than Mitchell basketball support. Is that right? And Yankton was in that mix a few years ago. I was at that state championship. That was rocking, man. So I think double-A gets a bad rep. I give you the B's, great. I think Class A gets forgotten. There's some really good towns and really good basketball I've thought of over the years, from Madison and some of these teams that have been in the mix, Lenox back in the day. So Class A gets overlooked. Double A gets ridiculed. Class A overlooked. The B's get romanticized, and that's okay. I think the B's, I will experience the B's. Let me get into this really quick. So before we go to Eric Peterson, he's going to join us tonight, USD head men's basketball coach, Summit League tournament. Coming up Friday night, the Yotes are playing Omaha. We'll talk to the head coach for the Yotes. I want to get into how we watch the state tournaments. So I just saw this today. You go up to North Dakota, they cannot watch the state championships for free. So we've been through this exercise in South Dakota, right? SDPB has provided excellent coverage of the state events. We all agree on that. Excellent coverage. And I think we are unbelievably lucky. I've kept saying that on the show when I'm sticking up for SDPB and their funding and all that. I said, man, these guys have done an outstanding job with the state tournaments, whether it's basketball, football, wrestling. I mean, it is good stuff. So think about this. North Dakota does cover the state basketball tournaments, but it is pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view. And the folks there at WDAY and Forum, they've got the contract, and it's pay-per-view. In South Dakota, it is free as of now. And I'm just curious because people are complaining, which is what they do on social media. They're hitting my guy Dom Izzo. They're sending complaints that North Dakota exploits the kids. North Dakota exploits high school sports by charging to watch the state tournaments. I think that's a little bit far. What is South Dakota going to do? I'm telling you, today is the world of pay-per-view. It is, because you just, well, it's this fee, it's that fee. You got to do pay-per-view on some of these classics. I saw some of these high school basketball classics. You had to do a pay-per-view to watch some of this stuff. We got the state tournaments free. North Dakota's complaining still that they can't watch it for free. Do you ever think South Dakota will get to pay-per-view? Are we going to have to go pay-to-view state basketball tournaments eventually? It's just on my mind because North Dakota is that way. They're complaining about it, but they're saying, hey, this is what it is. It costs money to cover it and the whole thing, and so we got to have pay-per-view. SDPB has been on the chopping block. They've had funds cut. So far, they're saying sports is still free. Will it be free in South Dakota? We are free in South Dakota. Our state tournaments are free so far. Will it stay that way? Just a question of the day. I want your opinion. It's 2026. Are we going to have free access to state basketball tournaments? Is that the way it's going to be? North Dakota, we one-up you, man. We got you. Sorry. Even though, let's not say we're exploiting high school kids. Let's be careful. I run a radio company, right? we've covered games for a long time. That's what I did when I started out. It's free, man. We cover it. I sell sponsorships. We try and make it that way. So I think it's all important. I think public access is very important for the kids and the schools and the citizens. And I hope SDPB can keep it free. Do you think they will? Just the way the world's going. You have to pay for everything except for the Nate Brown Show. This is free right now. Can you believe it? Quality entertainment and thought-provoking sports talk that stirs up so many controversies. It's amazing. It's all free. 605-720-1067. Will high school basketball state tournaments always be free access from SDPB? Do you believe that? North Dakota makes them pay. SD, so far free. Will it stay that way? Brian Noe is coming up. We get the show started. A lot to cover tonight. Fox Sports Radio national host, one of the best guests you can get. Brian Noe coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 68. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows level off around 35. Tonight, partly cloudy. A blend of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain. Daytime highs approaching 72. About an inch of snow tomorrow night through Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 67 degrees.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
Girls Sodex 16 basketball action is on Fox Sports Rapid City. Tune in on Thursday as number 8 Rapid City Christian takes on number 9 Dakota Tech in a Class A Sodex 16 matchup live from Wall. Then on Friday, it's a Class AA Sodex 16 matchup with number 4 Rapid City Stevens taking on number 13 Yankton live from Rapid City. Join Jerome Wickersham and Dean Gurr beginning at 6 p.m. Mountain Thursday and Friday. Don't miss the Lady Comets in Tatanka Thursday, the Stephen Raiders and Gazelles Friday on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in the Nate Brown Show back on Wednesday edition. Summit League tournament starting up. We've got USD head men's basketball coach Eric Peterson on live tonight. Preview the Summit League. They've got Omaha coming up Friday. Coach Peterson coming up. USD men, what a season, man. It's been wild. All the injuries, they've had to add players in the middle of the year. Isaac Bruns, leading scorer, goes down for the Yotes. They still keep battling. They get the 4 seed. That's something. So can they make a run? Trying to get to the tournament, that would be historic for USD men. Eric Peterson coming up. Brian Noah is on South Dakota Sports Talk Show tonight on Fox Sports Radio. He is a national host on Fox Sports Radio. You hear him on Countdown to Kickoff all season long. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
Good, Nate Brown. Always good to talk to you, buddy. And I'm a world traveler, so I am in New York.
Wow.
New York City. I'm not in New York City. I'm in New York right now, but it's good to talk to you because it's always a great day in South Dakota.
You know that.
Live from the New York State over here.
I like that. So let me ask you about this. I did see this. I saw Brian Noe at a Duke basketball game. You went to a Duke game. This is my dream. I'm a Dookie. I said I have to go. I've been talking about events I have to go to around this region, but I have to get to a Duke home game. What was it like? You just went to one I saw.
Wow, I didn't know that about you, Nate. Yeah, the Dookies, that's what I always call them. But, yeah, I've always wanted to go to Cameron Indoor. And it's a crazy story, I'll tell you real fast. So they were playing Syracuse. That was the game I saw a couple of weeks ago. And Syracuse stinks, as we know, this season. And so I'm like, well, it's not North Carolina, right? But the get-in price for a North Carolina game this season is like $1,600. It's insane. So I was like, I've always wanted to go. They'll probably crush Syracuse, but it'll give me a chance to go see them, and the tickets are going to be a little bit cheaper. Still, Nate, the cheapest ticket to get in was about $800 to see Syracuse.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's pretty. Well, at least on like the lower bowl, right? Like the lower section. It was a little cheaper higher up, but I was like, wait a minute. I noticed that on the lower bowl they were about just under $900 in this one section. And then on the very opposite end of the floor, they were under $200. And I was like, what's the deal with that, right? Like, so it was a general admission ticket that I got for under $200. And I was right next to the Cameron Crazies. It's just you stand on the bleachers, you're right next door to the Cameron Crazies, and it was like a sixth of the price, or I can't do quick math in my head, but it was way cheaper than just under $900, and I thought the seats were even better. It was a great experience.
Okay, that's big time. That is big time. I'm jealous. Brian Noe went to Cameron Indoor, watched Duke. Now the Dukies are number one in the country, so look out for my Dukies. I do have to get to Cameron Indoor. What was the basketball experience like? You're next to the Cameron Crazies. I mean, I know the game got out of hand, but one of your best sports experiences or no?
It was cool. It was absolutely cool because that's hallowed ground for college basketball. I do have to say, and I know you're a Dookie over there, Nate Brown, and this is not trash talking over here, but I made it 1 week prior to the Fog. I went to Fog Allen Fieldhouse to see Kansas, and they took down the number one team in the country that night. That was Arizona. I saw that game when Arizona lost at Kansas. I was at that one. And that, Nate, that was the best atmosphere I've ever been at, or in, or however you say it, at a sporting event.
Is
and
that
I've
right?
been to every NFL stadium but one. I've been to a handful of college football stadiums, including Notre Dame, right? Like, I've been around. And I'll tell you, man, the Fog does not mess around. Fog Allen Fieldhouse, seeing a Kansas basketball game, it was second to none. It was amazing. Like, they're living and dying with every play. They're locked into every play. The energy from the students, the loudness, it was awesome. It was the best atmosphere I've ever experienced.
All right, good stuff. I wanted that from Brian Noe. I saw you went on a college basketball tour, and Brian Noe on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Okay, you know I like talking ball. We got to talk some NFL. Here it is. I've been predicting it, and I still think it's going to happen. The Minnesota Vikings have to get Kyler Murray, and if they do, they'll win a playoff game at least. I'm all in, so explain why I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, the most obvious thing would be if they don't end up getting him, right? Like, I know what you're saying, it's based on an if. And I get it, but that would be the first part of that wouldn't happen if he doesn't even get there in the first place. It seems like he will. I do love this, Nate, where I love how a team like the Arizona Cardinals is like, we really want to trade him, but if we can't find a trade partner, we're probably going to have to release him. Your chances of finding a trade partner are not very good. But if you want me to give you an argument of, let's say the Vikings get Kyler Murray, and I got to give you an argument they at least either won't make the playoffs, or if they make it, they won't win a first-round playoff game. The argument is easy. Look at the NFC. Look at that division. That division is a tough division. That conference is tough. There's no way you can sit here and say with great certainty, no way, no how, the Vikings don't win at least one playoff game with Kyler Murray. That's crazy. Now, you can predict that they will win a playoff game, but to make it sound like it's essentially a foregone conclusion, I would not agree with that. With the division as tough as it is and a conference as tough as it is, there are no layups in that conference or division.
But are you all in on the Vikings? If you're the Vikings, you get Kyler Murray for $1.3 million. This is a bargain. It's a no-brainer. Does he still have juice left?
I mean, I would. The difference between Kyler Murray right now and J.J. McCarthy, a.k.a. 9, right now, like, the differences between Kyler and 9 are just so obvious. It's a huge difference in caliber between the two guys as it stands right now. Maybe 9 one day grows. Maybe 9 is a viable NFL quarterback at some point, but he's not there right now. So Kyler Murray, even though he's struggled as of late, he hasn't been crushing it. He's been injury-prone and all of that. He still is, just in terms of ability, production. He's light years beyond J.J. McCarthy as we speak right now.
Brian Noe joining us tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host. The show is Countdown to Kickoff right here on Fox Sports Radio, and he's on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. So the Chiefs are sending McDuffie, shutdown corner, to the Rams. What's this say about the Chiefs first? What's going on?
Well, the Chiefs have done this before, right? Like when they traded L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans. I was one of the people that was like, whoa, what are they doing right now? And they still made it to the Super Bowl. I get my years mixed up. I think it was the year that they eventually I don't know if they got to the Super Bowl or even won the Super Bowl the year they got rid of L'Jarius Sneed. But the point is, this doesn't, for right here, right now, it doesn't signal a complete teardown. I don't think there will be ever a complete teardown as long as Mahomes is the quarterback. And as long as Andy Reid is right there, I think they're retooling. I think they're retooling where the roster is. But by no means is this team, like, we make it sound like this roster is in shambles, and they got to get a pass rush. They got to get a better running game going there. So they have areas to address, but I don't think this is by any means the Chiefs, like, we're not even competitive. Let's just tear it down completely. They had a brutal season where pretty much everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But I just think that the Chiefs, even though their roster isn't what it has been in the past, and even though they're paying Mahomes huge money, that roster is still capable of being way better than 6-11. So if we're just looking at the Chiefs side of this first, this by no means, to me, signals, the Chiefs aren't even really trying to make serious noise in the playoffs. I just don't agree with that whatsoever. They've got to address some areas specifically in the draft. But I don't think you could just be like, oh, yeah, Chiefs, I don't think 2025 is just going to rewrite itself year after year after year with Mahomes and Andy Reid still there.
So it seems like the Rams, though, who were really good last year, I mean, they're still all in. This is it for Stafford, and they're all in.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. That's an all-in type move, Nate. That's a first-round pick, a third-round pick, a couple of day 3 picks. That's 4 picks. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of compensation. And the Rams are going for it. You know, we're back to the F them picks days with the Rams, you know. Yeah, this is probably the last hurrah for Matthew Stafford. And that is absolutely an aggressive, all-in type move, and they addressed a key area of need. That was the Achilles heel of the Rams. I didn't like their secondary at all. Their corners weren't very good. There were rumors that maybe going into last season they'd be reunited with Jalen Ramsey and would trade for him. He ended up with Pittsburgh, and their secondary was weak all season long. And that certainly hurt him. Sam Darnold, of all quarterbacks, carved him up. When you get carved up by Sam Darnold, your secondary has problems.
Take it easy.
That's all I'm going to tell you. And so they addressed that area of need, and all-in move by the Rams, very aggressive.
Rams get top cornerback McDuffie from the Chiefs. Betting odds, Brian, you love betting odds. Betting odds are saying Max Crosby could land with the Bears. The Bears, the front runner. What are you buying there?
I don't buy it at all. I don't. He could end up there, but I just don't buy. This is just classic steam, Nate. It's betting steam. Someone bets Max Crosby to the Bears, and someone sees oh, wow, it just dipped. It dipped from, I don't know, whatever, plus 150 to plus 140. Whoa, let's get in on this. And then all of a sudden, there's major steam, and all of a sudden, it's been bet down like crazy. I just don't buy it, Nate. You see these markets all the time. They're volatile. They move all the time. I'll give you a couple examples. Think about draft day a couple of years back with Will Levis. There were the odds just went crazy that Will Levis would be, I forget, the number one pick. They did the number one quarterback taken, and it was all garbage. There was no truth to it whatsoever. It happened, just last month, NFL honors, the night of, it was going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And all of a sudden, Tedorona McMillan, the Panthers wide receiver, he was the odds-on favorite, huge favorite, and his odds plummeted the night of. And you had Tyler Shuck. He became he went from a long shot to a lot. Wow, he's just barely plus money now. And then McMillan won in a landslide. So there are a lot of times there's major steam, and it doesn't mean anything. So I don't see Max Crosby being a slam dunk to the Bears at all. They just lost their center. They got to find a new center right now. And the asking price for Max Crosby is a couple of first-round picks and a player. That's pretty rich. I love Max Crosby as a player, but he hasn't been as productive, and he's been a lot more banged up. So that is a huge price tag, and I don't know that the Bears are going all in to do that. I just think it's classic steam, and I don't think anyone knows anything on this one.
Brian Noe on tonight talking NFL rumors and more. He saw the Dukies, he saw Kansas, and he takes the Jayhawks atmosphere as one of the best sports experiences of all time. The No Show on X. Find him there. Brian, I appreciate you from New York. Thanks a lot.
Always great hanging with you, Nate. Yes, Fog Allen just ahead of Jets hosting the Raiders atmosphere. And let me tell you, electric.
Okay.
At MetLife. Electric.
I love that.
Like that.
Believe that. Brian Noe in tonight, Fox Sports Radio, national host on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Listen to him. He's on the weekends, countdown to kickoff, and he's on X at The No Show. Brian Noe beat me to Cameron Indoor Stadium. He beat me to the Dukies. When am I going to make it? When am I going to make it? Listener text just sent in to me and said, I can't believe you haven't been to the Summit League tournament live. Well, here's the thing. I'm doing this show right now. I almost did that. I was talking to my family. I said, I'm going to go to the Summit League tournament this year, and I'm going to go live. I was going to do it. And then I didn't do it. So it's still on my schedule. Summit League tournament. Let's go there, by the way. USD men's basketball playing Friday against Omaha. It's been quite the season for the Yotes on men's basketball side with their head coach Eric Peterson. We'll describe the season and preview the tournament. Head man for the Yotes coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade or renewal by Anderson. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
To the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports.
Hey, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. Thanks for making this show possible. We appreciate you from high school to college to the pros. Try and get you covered each time out. We got you covered tonight with some great guests across the board. Summit League tournament's underway. Summit League Championships, Sioux Falls. USD men's basketball trying to make a run, the 4 seed. They'll play Friday coming up, Omaha. Head coach for the Yotes, Eric Peterson, joins us live on the Nate Brown Show. Coach, good to get you back on. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your time. So, man, this season's been a story. You've been a coach for a while. You tell me how would you describe your season from how you dealt with the injuries to where you're at now? What do you describe it like?
Yeah, very unique. You know, our team looks a lot different than when we played over in Rapid City earlier in the year, and we have 7 guys out right now. Never seen anything like that before, but the guys that we do have, you know, are fighting every single day, and they're tough kids, and you know, a lot of people have doubted them, and honestly, I don't think anybody would have predicted they could get a 4 seed out of this thing, and we played some teams really well that had finished above us. You know, we lost to UND, had 3 chances at the buzzer to win it, and we missed them all, and you know, we lost to NDSU in overtime, and we make a free throw under a minute left, and it's probably a win for the Yotes. So we've battled everybody. We've faced a lot of adversity, but we got a lot of tough guys that continue to fight for our program, and they're proud to be Coyotes.
How did you keep this all together? Because players that are there, seniors, juniors, I mean, they might think, man, this is just going to go off the rails. What did you do to keep it together?
Yeah, we picked up a couple guys. We had to do it that semester. We played NDSU, and we had 7 players, and I think that's the minimum amount that you need to show up and play a game is 7 guys, and we finished with 5. We had 2 guys that actually got hurt during the game. So, after that trip, we knew we needed to bring a couple guys in, and the NCAA granted us 2 players because we had 2 season-ending injuries prior to our season starting. So once they said it was okay, we hopped on the phones, and we had guys ready to go, and we got them here within a couple days. And, one of them came from Jamestown in North Dakota, played for my former assistant, Casey Brueggemann, and, was a all-conference player up there. And then we got another kid from Arizona Christian, Trent Hudgens, and just kind of pieced it together at the time. It was very new. We had to change everything that we were doing. We were up-tempo, pressing, really fast-paced, and we had to slow it down and be more of a half-court team. We had to change our screen and roll defense. I almost feel like I've coached 3 different teams, the team that we had during the summer, the team we started the season with, and the team we have now. And, I don't feel like we've had our guys very long because of all the changes that we had to make schematically. But, it's been super rewarding. It's been, one of the best years I've had coaching, just as far as it's really pushed me to be a better coach. It's pushed me to be a better leader. Really enjoyed the guys that we have on our team. It's a fun group. If you came to our practice, Nate, you would be like, you wouldn't know anything happened. You wouldn't know that we're missing guys other than looking at the sideline and seeing the players out and the coaches in scout jerseys going through the other team's plays. But outside of that, I think, our attitude's been phenomenal. It's been super positive. And, we just have the right guys in the locker room. And, I told our guys there's not many people picking us to make a run in the Summit League tournament, but there wasn't a lot of people that picked us to finish 4th either. So we've showed that we could play with anybody. And by adding those 2 guys, and, I look at our roster and the guys that we are playing, I think we have 4 freshmen and 2 NAIA players. So 6 of the 9 guys are either we picked up that semester or it's their first year playing.
Wow.
It's been a pretty wild time.
Eric Peterson on tonight, USD head men's basketball coach. 16-15, you finish out, and 8-8 in the Summit League after all the players that go down, and then you lost Bruns as well. That was your leading scorer at the time, and you still kept it rolling. So you guys just sweep the Jacks. That hasn't happened at USD since the 90s. When you think about that, Coach, how big was that for your program, sweeping SDSU?
Yeah, I think more just it hasn't really been a rivalry. It has, but we got to hold up our end of the deal, right? We have to win some games and make it competitive, and maybe they look at North Dakota State's a bigger rivalry than us. I don't know, but we haven't, we just haven't held up our end of the bargain, and it's good to get a couple wins. Like you said, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've won at their place. Outside of COVID, it's been 2001, and then almost 30 years since we swept them. I think it says, a lot about their program, how good they've been, and, we're making strides in our program, and it's also hard not to think about what our team could have been if we didn't lose so many guys. I thought we'd been right there, had a chance to win the league with the players that we had recruited. But, I tell our guys all the time, you're judged in life how you respond to adversity. And no matter whether it's sports or anything that happens in your life, and these guys have given a tremendous response to it.
Does it feel like the chip on the shoulders there a little bit? Was that part of this? As everybody's thinking we're down, man, it can't get much worse. Nobody thinks we're going to do much. Is that a motivator at all? You still got to go play basketball, Coach, but how about the motivational side of the guys that are there?
Yeah, I've said this. I mean, it was rock bottom, and then Isaac got hurt, and then it was really rock bottom. I think for a lot of it is, they're just, I don't know if they ever felt any pressure. I don't think anybody ever picked them to win the game, in any game that we played after what happened. And I just felt like they just came into games just loose and free and, hey, let's just go play and have a great time together. And there was a tremendous positive attitude every day in practice, and that carries over to the games. So maybe a little bit of a chip that, nobody is going to pick us to win the game, but I think more so just the guys that we brought, they had tremendous joy that they got to play basketball again. Trent was in Phoenix, tried to go pro and, didn't get the opportunity that he wanted, and he was just at home. And then Silas was in Alaska, working a youth camp and driving a truck. And when you bring two guys to your team that basically got it taken away from them, they were seniors, they were trying to move on and play at least one more year of college, and nobody believed in them. And then they got that opportunity. I think those two guys brought so much joy and passion to our program, and it really, just trickled down to our younger guys, because we do have some younger guys like Silas on senior day. I let all the seniors speak, in the locker room after we beat South Dakota State, and Silas's message was like, man, in 5 years, no one's going to remember how many points you scored in a game. They're going to remember, did you win the game against South Dakota State? Did you win the game in the tournament? And, you're going to remember moments sitting in the locker room and the brotherhood of being on a team. That's what people are going to remember. So those two guys have made a tremendous impact on our team.
Eric Peterson joins us live tonight, USD head men's basketball coach on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. The Yotes take on Omaha in the Summit League Championships in Sioux Falls. So you just beat Omaha last Wednesday, 89-72, and so you swept them too. They made the tournament last year. Teams are different every year now with everything that goes on. So you've swept them. You just beat them by 17, and now you play them again. When you just beat a team by 17, who has the edge?
I would say that's a non-factor, honestly. Like, you go into March and everybody's 0-0. It maybe gives our guys confidence that we know their team and we know what they're running and we know some things that we can do to help us offensively. But you get into the tournament, I'm not sure you can really look at that. They went into that game on a hot streak. They were playing really, really well. They lost to us. They lost to St. Thomas. Our guys show up at practice, and, the first practice back, it wasn't great. And I had to remind them that they kicked our butts on national TV, on CBS Sports in the semifinals. They were up 30 at one point. We ended up losing by 25. And, they have experienced guys that have played on that team, that have played in the NCAA tournament. And, true story, we have one guy that played in the Summit League tournament, and he played 3 minutes when we were getting blown out in the 8-9 game against Oral Roberts. So, the message to the team was, I don't care what's happened the last two games. We have to be so connected. We have to be so locked in. We have to have great practices in order to do it again, because they got seniors. You look at their scouting report, most of those guys are seniors that are experienced, and they don't want their careers to end. So it's going to be a really challenging game for us, and just we lack some experience in that setting. And hopefully it's one of those deals where I felt like we went to South Dakota State and won that game in Brookings, and we didn't have one guy that had played in that game before. So I don't even know if they really knew what to expect or the environment, and they just kind of went out and played. So I'm hoping it's like that. But Crutch is a great coach. He does a really good job. Obviously, they won our league last year, and they'll be ready for us, and we'll be prepared for them as well.
What's your approach this week, Coach? Because it's tournament time. You've had a long season, but you have a different team, so you're still trying to even build that cohesiveness, and you haven't played a ton together. So what's your approach this week? Because you know the team you're playing. You've done scout offense, scout D, that whole thing. How do you approach tournament week?
Well, for us this year, it's very different than last year. This year, it's, make sure nobody gets hurt at practice, so we can roll into the tournament with our guys that we have. And, we're shorthanded, obviously, but, I looked at our practice plan last year on the same day as yesterday, and we practiced for an hour and 30 minutes. And honestly, we haven't practiced over an hour probably all semester. Maybe we've gone over and shot free throws, but we've had limited guys. There's been practices that we've had to play 3-on-3 because we haven't had enough guys to play 5-on-5. So practice has been very limited, but we have to go into this tournament because we don't get a day off. We have to try to win 3 games in 3 days. And how do you do that? You have to have fresh bodies. So I think it's important to really know the game plan. You add a couple wrinkles offensively, maybe tweak a couple things defensively, or try to get better at a couple things defensively. But shoot some shots, make some free throws, and roll in really fresh legs and just a really fresh mind. Because we always say, if your mind right, your game is right. So we have to be there mentally. And we understand that the challenge that we have to win 3 games in 3 days, and it's not going to be easy.
What do you think of the atmosphere in Sioux Falls? Summit League tournament stayed in Sioux Falls. What do you think of the atmosphere every year?
Yeah, I'm biased, of course, but I've been a lot of places. I've been in the Mountain West tournament. I've been in the Pac-12 tournament. and it's unbelievable. For mid-major basketball, I can't imagine if there's a better atmosphere, there's a better venue than what we have at the Denny. So I don't know if we'll ever move it. I hope they don't, for selfish reasons, but I just think, you lose a lot of the atmosphere, you lose a lot of the fans if you do try to move that thing. But yeah, I'd put it up there with the Mountain West tournament. I think it's better than the Pac-12 tournament when I was in the Pac-12. Just Midwest, there's just really passionate fans, and you don't want to play in a huge arena with it being completely empty. I think there'll be people that show up no matter what to watch those games, no matter who's playing, and we're just thankful that our fans show up every single year and gives us a huge boost.
USD taking on Omaha Summit League Championships. It's Friday night, 6 o'clock Central. The Yotes, what a season. Eric Peterson, the head coach, they're 16-15, the 4 seed, 8-8 in the Summit League, and trying to win 3-3 to get into the tournament. Eric Peterson on tonight. Coach, good luck to you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Go Yotes.
Appreciate it. Eric Peterson on South Dakota Sports Talk Show tonight, getting you plugged in. Appreciate his time. USD head men's basketball coach. That's a wild season. Ton of players get injured even before the season starts. Then more players get injured in the season, including leading scorer Isaac Bruns. So he's got to pick up guys that aren't even playing basketball. He picked up a couple of guys who weren't even playing basketball. And USD had to get a couple more scholarships. It's like, yeah, I mean, we got to do that. So it's a great story, a team you can root for, kind of an upset team right now. USD men, can they make a run? They start with Omaha. They swept them this season, just like they did the Jacks just now. So that's an unsung team right there, looking to make a run. North Dakota State, people would say, is the favorite. NDSU's been really solid. Can USD surprise? They'll start Friday, 6 o'clock Central at the Denny. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, I've got a big basketball discussion here. There's a high school basketball game that is being replayed tonight. They messed up the scorebook, and so it was all decided the other night, but they messed it up. They're going to replay the game tonight. Is this the right call? We'll explain next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
The following radio ad is good fun squad approved.
Hello, I'm Gerald and I'm a South Dakota lottery accountant. I've been asked to remind you that lottery games should be played only for fun. Set a budget and ask for help if you need it, because too much fun is not good fun. I believe I was asked to read this ad because I wear a suit and do math for a living, so people think I'm not fun. But just last weekend, I installed a software upgrade without reading the terms or conditions. So there. Please play responsibly and learn more at keepthefungood.com.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
Introducing the $25,000 mortgage match from Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. We're paying off one lucky Clubhouse member's mortgage up to $25,000 just for playing with us. Earn free daily entries by using your Clubhouse card when you play, or sign up for a free Clubhouse card today. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. Then, be here March 28th, and you could be our grand prize winner. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows level off around 35. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times again. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain. Daytime highs approaching 72. Lows around 30. Tomorrow night, slight chance for mixed precipitation. About an inch of snow tomorrow night through Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 66 degrees.
At Highmark Credit Union, we believe banking should feel personal. That's why when you walk into our lobbies, you'll be greeted by real tellers and friendly staff, ready to help with your questions, big or small. And yes, we've got the latest technology too, for when you want quick and convenient service. The best part? You get to choose. Highmark Credit Union. Personal service backed by modern technology. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union. When it comes to the best bank that works for you, I'm telling you, BHFCU is the place. It's where me and my family bank. We've been a member there for quite a while now. Switch from our last bank is really, really good. Great loan rates right now. Maybe you're looking at vehicles, maybe you're looking at business loans. They've got it all. Go to bhfcu.com. Start there, become a member, and get a bank that works for you. 18 locations across South Dakota, from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. I invite you to become a member at Black Hills Federal Credit Union like me. From personal to business banking, that's the place. BHFCU.com. Matt Zimmer's coming up from Sioux Falls Live. We'll take a look at the Summit League and more. Just had Eric Peterson on, USD head men's basketball coach. That's quite a story. I mean, nobody's believed in the Yotes. They were really quiet. Had to bring in new players. They have injuries across the board. Never seen anything like it. They sweep the Jacks for the first time since the 90s. They're trying to win this thing. They're the 4 seed. They're in a good spot, pretty good spot. They played Friday night against Omaha. Just talked to Coach Eric Peterson of the Yotes. Catch the Nate Brown Show podcast if you missed parts of the show. Go to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search the Nate Brown Show. If you missed parts of this show live, you can get the podcast. Are we ready here for this story? Okay. High school basketball's underway in South Dakota, postseason, all that. How about this story? I got to get your opinion on this tonight. You got to sound off on this. Help me with it. Missouri high school basketball playoff game. Okay? Setting the scene. Missouri high school basketball playoff game. It's 54 seconds left in the third quarter. There's a scoring error. They left 1 point off the board. Okay? So coaches are saying, hey, we should have one more point. And this is third quarter. And the referees stop it. They look, and nobody makes the change, and they just roll with it. Okay? So I'm getting this because the story's going like wild now. Because what they decided to do at the Missouri High School Activities Association, so that game was decided by, guess what? 1 point. So they missed a point in the third quarter. The scorebooks didn't change it. It just rolled with it. It was a 1 point win for one of these Missouri high school basketball teams. This is girls high school basketball. They have now reviewed it. They got video review, and the Activities Association is now saying they're going to replay the game from the point of interruption. So get this. One team has already won. Okay, there's a team that already won that game. They've rescheduled it for tonight to start over with 54 seconds left in the third quarter where they missed that point. And I don't think I've ever seen something like that. I mean, I've heard about people protesting and saying, hey, we should maybe get this trophy or something like that. We had a little incident in South Dakota, you remember, a few years ago? So I've heard about protests, and I don't think I've ever seen, oh, we're going to go back on a Wednesday night and replay a high school playoff game that's already been decided in the books Now, I understand it was wrong. So it shouldn't have been a 1-point win for this high school team, but they're going to replay it. Could you live with that? Would you actually want to replay if there was a scorebook error, 1 point, and the team won by 1? Do you go back and replay that game from the time of interruption? That's what's going on in Missouri high school girls basketball tonight. They've rescheduled it. They're starting with 54 seconds left in the third. I mean, that's just weird stuff. That is bizarre stuff. I have my I'm going to throw this question of the day your way. Basketball fans, sports fans, you tell me, would you replay that game? Would you replay a game like this? Missouri high school basketball playoff game had a scoring error, which resulted in a team winning by 1 point. They're replaying it tonight, starting at 54 seconds left in the third quarter. The game was already decided. It's in the books. That team was advancing, and now they got to go back. My opinion is tonight, and maybe it's wrong. I don't think you can go back and replay a game from that where that incident happened. I don't think. I mean, here's where I usually side on this stuff. When sports mistakes happen, they happen. And maybe you're going to say, well, a scoring book, I mean, that's not a little mistake. That's a huge mistake that changed the outcome of the game. But there's so many things that happened there in that fourth quarter. There's so many things that happened in the fourth quarter that the other team could have won, is my point. We always say in basketball, just next play, make the next play, win the game. And now they're going to go back because there was a review by the Activities Association in Missouri, and they're going to replay that game. Do you replay from the time of the mistake? That's my question of the day. Give me your read. What if that happened here in South Dakota tomorrow night? Let's say we got Sodak 16. Just win and move on, or otherwise you're done. So let's say that happened tomorrow night. Girls high school basketball. Class A game, some game. Sodak 16. There's a scoring book error. They don't change it. A team wins by 1. Are you telling me we're going to come back Saturday night and replay that? I can't do that. And maybe the coach from that other team's saying, oh, no, you have to do that. I can't do that. I think mistakes in sports happen. This is why I'm saying we don't have to challenge every ball and strike in baseball. I think mistakes happen, and I know it's a big one, but I've never seen a high school game get replayed from the time of the mistake, and that's going to happen tonight in Missouri. At least I haven't heard of that. What would you say? Replaying is the right call? Scorebook made the error? You replay from the start, from the third quarter, or you just can't go back in sports? I'm usually a hard line. I don't think you can go back. I don't think you can go back. But they are. You tell me. 605-720-1067. Missouri high school basketball playoff game. Going back to the third quarter and replaying the rest of the game tonight. I mean, it could be totally different. So then if this other team wins, you know what's going to happen. Then the other team's going to protest. Well, we already won. Is this thing going to turn ugly? We already won, and you guys said we won. We moved on in the playoffs. Well, no, it's a scorebook error, so we replayed it. You didn't do the protest the right way. Sorry. We replayed it. Now you lost. Hey, we won. No, you lost. You can't replay basketball games. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Listener text. What say you? 605-720-1067. You can't play games over again. It's a mistake, and that happens. What happens if the team that won now will lose? That's what I mean. That's a good point. Listener text, that is stupid. Move on. You have to. You have to move on in sports, right? Listener text, a team could get a judge injunction and technically could do something like this. Remember what happened at state tennis years ago? Yeah, I remember that one too. They got they stopped the state tennis tournament and over a result and something like that. So listener text, no, you cannot replay This would only happen in Missouri. What? Missouri catching strays. That's okay. You tell me. 605-720-1067. Basketball fans, would you replay a game over a scoring error? They're going to do it tonight. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to see who wins. What if the team who lost wins? Boy, this ought to be fun. 55% of you are saying, yes, replay. This is on social media. Replaying the game is fair. I can't believe you guys on social media. All the radio listeners that have texted in so far, they say you can't replay it. So I'm with you guys. Social media saying replaying is the right call. 45% on social media say you can't go back in sports. That's amazing. So you tell me. Tell me where I'm wrong then. 605-720-1067. Our question of the day. Set you up with a buffet to the Pizza Ranch in Brandon or East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. A buffet a day from the Pizza Ranch for our question of the day answers on the text line. Hey, it's 5 questions from Chris Day today. Chris, our loyal listener, sends them in. I'll send them out. 5 questions from Chris. My answers coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Anderson. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
and treatment. Get started at ElevatePerformanceSD.com.
One more time. This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in. Second hour, ready to roll on your drive home on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for checking in with us. The Nate Brown Show live Wednesday edition of the program. KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and welcome in on Fox Sports Rapid City, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Two great guests coming up. We'll talk some high school hoops with Marcus Traxler, East River sports editor, Mitchell Republic. He's in. I want to get all this breakdown of Class B boys basketball. I keep hearing that all these teams are in the same region in Class B boys basketball. All the best teams are in the same region, and we're going to have to go to the Sodex 64. Anyway, Marcus Traxler coming up, Mitchell Republic sports editor. Matt Zimmer's in tonight. We'll talk Summit League and more. SiouxFallsLive.com. It is straight ahead. The Nate Brown Show official outfitter is Trav's Outfitter. I love this store, man. Brand new store in Rapid City, Campbell Street. And when it comes to work boots, that's the place. And I'm telling you, the staff's outstanding. I'm walking in. I'm taking a look myself. They'll build a relationship. They want to know exactly what you do, what your fit is. They'll get it right. It's not about quick sales in and out. Trav's Outfitter, experts in work and Western footwear. If you're on your feet all day, fit matters. Make the right choice. It's Trav's Outfitter. Go to TravsOutfitter.com. Take a look online. They sell across there and in the new store, Campbell Street in Rapid City. Family-owned South Dakota independent retailer. Comfort and support matter. Get it right. Trav's Outfitter. Best selection, best service, no BS. 605-720-1067. Throw out the number. It's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline for you. 605-720-1067. Join the show that way. Let's see. Barron's Wilson text line is lighting up here. And everybody's in agreement that you can't replay a high school basketball game like they're doing in Missouri tonight. It's a high school playoff game. Was already decided. They made a scoring error in the third quarter. 1 point was left off the board, and then a team won by 1. So if you would have counted that point, it would have been a tie. Then what would you have done? I guess they'd replay it again. So they're going to replay it from the third quarter, and then they're going to see who wins this time. Let me just tell you, this is high school sports. So now the team that won, even though you say, well, they technically shouldn't have won, they won. If they lose tonight in Missouri, they're going to go ballistic. I mean, I just have a feeling they're going to go crazy. Would you replay a game like that if you get a scoring error in the third quarter? My question of the day, people online are saying yes by a 55% margin that you replay it. I'm not doing it. Listener text, no way, is what you just said. No way. Here's another one. Listener text, well, no, the momentum could be totally different. Well, yeah, I mean, you come back on a Wednesday night and you're trying to replay that game. Listener text, going back would be like trying to replay the Bills-Broncos game would be stupid. And I'm even a Bills fan. Yeah, what did you want to replay on that? What did you want to replay on that? That we beat you again? Anyway, I don't want it. Good stuff. 605-720-1067 on the text line. Would you replay a high school girls basketball playoff game over 1 point being left off the board? They're doing it tonight in Missouri. Let's get going with this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
All right, we call it 5 questions from Chris because it's Chris who sends me 5 questions on the Nate Brown Show. Let's go, Chris. Question number 1. Nate, it's the first week of March. There's about 7 weeks remaining before the WNBA is set to play its first game May 8th. As of now, there is no CBA agreement between the players and the league. Do you think everything gets sorted out before the WNBA deadline of March 10th? Or will there be a strike lockout? Well, Chris, you know I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I think it's been amazing. I think it's been unbelievable what she's done to the league and the whole following of girls and women's basketball. I really, really want them to get it done, so I'm going to err on that side that they're not going to be this bad that they're going to blow it, right? they're going to screw this up after the hype of Caitlin Clark and the revival of the WNBA. It's been as big ever. It's never even been close to this. And they're going to go, and they might have a lockout. They're not going to screw this up, right, Chris? So I'm going to say they will get this done. Time's running out. I'm a little worried now. A little worried. The WNBA doesn't have a season. How stupid is that? I mean, that is stupid. Question number 2. The NBA's back to being broadcast on NBC. Game times have changed for that national broadcast last night. NBC Tuesday coverage. First national broadcast game starts at 6 Mountain, 7 Central. And then the second game didn't start till 9 Mountain, 10 Central. What do you think of the NBA having games ending so late? Yeah, it's interesting. Like on the East Coast, huge amount of people back there, and you got the second game starting at 11 Eastern. I mean, that's even late for those guys. I will say, I spent some time back on the East Coast in Washington, D.C., and lived there and worked at NBC and the whole thing. People go to bed late back there. I mean, I understand a game starting at 11 p.m. Eastern is not good at all, but people go to bed late. They go to bed late back there, and they get up early. It is a rat race back there. And so I don't think those people really care about much. They're going to watch that first window, and then NBC wants the second window for what? Mountain Time and the Pacific side, L.A. and the whole West Coast. So I don't think people are going to complain much. I'm glad it's back on NBC. I will say that. I like Sunday night basketball. I think Tuesday night's great. I think NBC having the NBA is big. Question 3. Nate, how concerned should the SEC be that many current NFL draft mocks don't have SEC players in the top 15? Was that right, Chris? I haven't seen that. I haven't got into the mocks yet. The SEC teams do not have anybody listed in the top 15 in the mocks. The Big Ten and ACC have 8 spots. Big 12 has 4 spots. Should that be concerning for the SEC? Well, they used to be an NFL factory. I don't think it's a concern like, oh, we don't have any players in the top 15. That's a surprise. I think they will. That is a surprise. It just goes to show you where the NIL situation has taken college football. The SEC used to be the thing, totally. That's it. End of story. You go to the SEC to get to the NFL. Now you can go to a lot of universities, and they're paying a lot of money to get some big-time players. That's what it tells me. NIL has created that NFL draft parity. Question number 4. 5 questions from Chris tonight. Speaking of the NFL draft, Nate, if you were deciding what to do with the first pick from the Raiders, would you draft Fernando Mendoza no matter what, or get some draft capital and build your team up? Chris, this is I'm a Mendoza fanboy. I'm an admitted Mendoza fanboy as I watched him this year. Love his character. I'm a sucker for that stuff. Intangibles, leadership, work ethic, background, character. You can just tell that guy's going to be a face of a franchise. That's the type of guy I want. You don't get guys like that all the time, so I have to take him number 1, no matter what. It's not just like it's just some, maybe. No, this isn't Baker Mayfield at 1. And then Baker's fine, but this isn't Baker. This is a total leader, total package. You have to take him at number 1. Mendoza to the Raiders, I got to take him at number 1, no matter what. Question number 5. Spring training, MLB question. Jerickson Profar received a full season suspension, 162 games for a positive drug test. That's his second suspension, meaning he's one step away from being banned for life from baseball. Do you think this current policy of 3 strikes and you're out of baseball forever is good enough, or should testing and enforcement be even stricter in the new CBA? I think that's good enough, Chris. I mean, I know baseball can't go back to, the days where it was just unregulated, everybody was doing everything. I mean, they've really got a control on this. So if you have 3 strikes, PEDs, you're done with baseball forever. I think that's a harsh punishment. I think that's a fine punishment. So I'm good with that. Profar now up to number 2. So he's suspended for a whole season. He has it happen again. He's done. He's done forever. I think that's good enough policy, Chris. 5 questions from Chris. That's it in the books on a Wednesday. We go to Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com. A lot to discuss with Matt on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Anderson. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. KWSN Sioux Falls, welcome in. Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here on the radio side. If you want to stream us, you can do that. We're on X right now live at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Welcome you in on X wherever you're watching tonight. Marcus Traxler's coming up. We'll talk high school hoops with him. Marcus Traxler, Mitchell Republic, talking high school hoops, Sodak 16, all that good stuff coming up. Class B boys. We're going to have to go to the Sodak 64 here, is what I hear, but we'll get to that. Marcus Traxler, his read straight ahead. Matt Zimmer's on from Sioux Falls Live. Summit League is underway, Summit League Championships, and a lot to discuss. Matt, welcome in. How are you?
Good, Nate. How are you?
Doing good, man. Appreciate your time as always. I got a question of the day. I just want the Matt Zimmer effect here. There's a story out of Missouri high school basketball. There was a scoring error in a high school basketball game the other night. 1-point error. The team won by 1 point. The Activities Association in Missouri said, we got to replay this from the third quarter when that scoring error occurred. So they played out the game. The team won by 1. They're going to replay it tonight. Do you go back and replay a game, or you put it in the books? What do you say?
So they're replaying it from the time that the scoring error was made, or they're just starting it over?
No, replaying it from the scoring error. 54 seconds, third quarter.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. I guess I don't have a problem with either one. I can see it. You know, like, remember many years ago when the pitcher for the Tigers had a perfect game?
Yeah.
And on the very, very, very last play, the umpire blatantly missed it. You know, there were a lot of people that said they should go back and just give him the perfect game because the umpire admitted he was wrong, or, you know, whatever. And I thought, you know, I'd be okay if they did that because he did technically sort of earn a perfect game, but I don't know if I like the idea of going back in time, so to speak, you know, and,
I know.
and doing that.
I can't do it myself.
I don't have a strong feeling. I could see either way. I'm okay with it, I guess.
Okay, we'll see. Now you know what's going to happen, Matt. So that team that won, they're gonna lose tonight, and then you're going to end up with like a lawsuit or something.
I can only imagine.
You know, I mean, they're like, wait, we won. And so we'll see how that goes. They're playing tonight in Missouri. Matt Zimmer on tonight. Let's go to the Summit League. So I was told the Summit League Championships is one of those events you have to experience when it comes to regional sports in this area. What do you say about the Summit League in Sioux Falls back for another year?
I mean, it's always fun. It's always, you know, one of my favorite weeks of the year. Because, you know, it's big-time basketball. It's Division I hoops. There's big crowds. There's usually really good teams there. You're playing for March Madness, for a berth in the NCAA tournament. And, you know, for people who are a little older, who remember a time when South Dakota didn't have Division I sports, that's a pretty big deal. At the same time, I think to some degree people are kind of used to it now. I think the novelty has worn off a little bit. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I think it's just natural, you know, that's something that's been here for 20 years. You start to go, okay, you know, this is just sort of part of the routine, part of the sports calendar. And, you know, so I think maybe we have sort of just maybe taken it for granted a little bit. I definitely think what NIL and the transfer portal have done to mid-major college basketball has sucked some of the life out of it. You know, I mean, just a few years ago, when you had those loaded teams, SDSU with Mike Dahm and Tevin King and Skylar Flatten and all those guys, and USD with Matt Mooney, and, you know, North Dakota State was good, and, you know, ITFW had some good teams. I mean, those were such good tournaments with such good players. You were able to watch guys who would maybe go on to the NBA, and teams that you felt like whoever won that tournament was going to have a chance to maybe be a Cinderella in the NCAA tournament. And that's not quite the case anymore. So it does feel a little bit like there isn't quite the same electricity, the same juice that there used to be. But we'll see. I certainly don't expect there to be any record set for attendance this year because neither the SDSU or USD men are having a great season, and that often dictates some of it. But it's still going to be a good crowd. There's still going to be a hell of a lot of Jacks fans there. Hopefully some more red from USD fans, hopefully some more green from NDSU fans since both of their teams are having such a good year. It's still going to be a great thing. It's just not quite, I think, what it was a few years ago.
Matt Zimmer on tonight covering the Summit Championships, SiouxFallsLive.com. Who's the favorite on the women's side? Is that a hard question or not?
It definitely is. I think that's kind of a toss-up. You know, North Dakota State kind of looked like they had a leg up on everybody. They go into Brookings and win. They swept USD. Well, they swept everybody else. And, you know, had a 23-game winning streak and just seemed to be barreling towards the finish line. And then SDSU goes to Fargo and beats them soundly, and then turns around 2 days later and just obliterates USD, the third-place team, who they had lost to earlier. It really looks like SDSU learned something from those two losses, that they let it hurt and let it motivate them. And with the home court advantage that they always have there, with their history, they've won it 12 out of the 17 times we've had it in Sioux Falls. it's pretty tough to bet against them. I think you kind of almost have to make them the favorites now because of how hot they are, because of the environment. They're on a 7-game winning streak. But certainly that's not to rule out NDSU. They went 15-1 for a reason.
What would you say about SDSU women? Why did they take a little step back here this year?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's some mitigating factors. They had some injuries. I think at times maybe they got a little bit too complacent and playing kind of letting Brooklyn Meyer sort of carry the load. And then, they lose to NDSU, and you kind of think, well, okay, they're bound to lose eventually. But then when they went to Vermilion and lost by even bigger margin to USD, I think that was sort of a wake-up call for them. Aaron Johnston a couple times this year has used the metaphor that, the Jackrabbit uniform isn't a cape. You don't just put it on and walk out there and magic things happen. You got to go do it. You got to go put in the work. And I think, you win 67 games in a row in the Summit League. I mean, these players had never lost a Summit League game in their career before this year. And so I think there was a little bit of complacency, maybe a little bit of sort of, hey, nobody in this league is good enough to beat us. We're just looking forward to the NCAA tournament. And like I said, I think that ended up benefiting them. I think it did serve as a wake-up call or whatever kind of cliche you want to use. And now they're playing easily the best basketball they've played all season.
Matt Zimmer on tonight. Watch him at SiouxFallsLive.com, his coverage there. And he's on X at Matt J. Zimmer. If you're not following him, you might want to do that. Summit Championship starting up. So the men's side, I had Eric Peterson on tonight, USD. His season's just been wild. So many injuries before the season started. More injuries in the middle. They lose the leading scorer, Bruns. He had to bring in guys that weren't even playing basketball from Alaska. He's like, hey, you want to come and play? They're the 4 seed, so they sweep the Jacks. They beat Omaha twice. Have they surpassed expectations for the circumstances?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was hard to get a read on what they were going to look like going into the season. I know Eric Peterson was pretty optimistic, and then the whole team gets hurt, and you kind of think, well, this is just going to be they're going to have to punt on this season. They're not going to be able to do anything. And they go out there and they get the 4 seed. And, they were a couple of breaks away from maybe being even higher than that. And he deserves a ton of credit. Dave Richmond won the Coach of the Year award for, obviously, the great year the Bison had. But I'm sure Eric Peterson was second on just about everybody's ballot. He was second on mine. And they're a really intriguing team. You mentioned, they don't have the depth, and they had to bring on some walk-ons, essentially. But their big 3 is really good. Cameron Fenn's their center, and those 2 young guards, Crawford and Bunton. I think those 3 guys are enough for them to go into this tournament. It's a pretty tough ask for them to win 3 games in 3 days, especially, again, like I said, with them not being as deep as they'd like to be. But they're certainly capable of winning on any given night. And, crazy things have happened. A 4 seed has won this tournament before, and what a great story that would be. USD has never been to a men's NCAA tournament. If they were able to do it this year, Peterson didn't get Summit League Coach of the Year, but he might get National Coach of the Year if he gets into the NCAA tournament with the luck that they've had this year.
So the Jacks have had a tough season. What's missing for the men at South Dakota State? What do they need to do to turn this up next year?
A point guard. Trey Buchanan transferred in from the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he was supposed to be their point guard. He suffered a season-ending injury, and they've been asking shooting guards to play point guard all year. And that's just something that they've been trying to work around. And at the same time, they've just been really inconsistent offensively. I'm sure the lack of a true point guard is part of the reason for that. But they're basically a team that they play pretty good defense, but on offense they have a good center and then some guards that like to shoot it from outside. But without that point guard, without having none of those guards are really the slasher type that can get to the basket, so they're just sort of beholden to their jump shots. If there's a night where they're shooting it well from outside, they're tough. They can beat anybody. But if there's a night where the other team is really locking down on Wilkinson, their post player, and denying him the ball, and making the Jacks live and die by the 3, and if they're having one of those nights where they're going to go 5 for 25, they're not very good. And so I think that means, I'm sure St. Thomas is not pleased that that's who they have to play in the first round because they know it's going to be like a home game and they know that they're a capable team. So I think SDSU is capable of pulling an upset, but it's really tough to think they can win 3 in a row because they just haven't had the consistency this year to put that many good games in a row to win a tournament.
One college football question for Matt Zimmer right in the middle of the Summit Championships. One college football question. So there's all this talk, FBS, FCS. Are you going to be engaged with North Dakota State and what they're doing in the Mountain West, or is that over?
Oh, no, I'll be paying attention. Partly just because I've been so close to the Bison program for the last 15 years, covering their arch rival and getting to know some of their players and coaches and the media that covers them. They've been attached to the hip with the Jacks for a long time, and it's going to be weird with that ending and having an end so suddenly. They didn't have a year to prepare for or whatever. And plus, I think everyone kind of assumes that they're going to be playing again someday. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not worrying about it. I know a lot of people in the media are just nonstop speculating and trying to come up with scenarios, and that I feel like that's not my department. I'll wait till something happens and then I'll weigh in on it. But at the moment, yeah, I'm watching what NDSU does with a lot of curiosity, wondering how that might impact things down the road. I think they're going to be really good. I think they're going to go into the Mountain West and immediately be one of the best teams there, and it'll be interesting to see how that shakes up the landscape, what it means for Group of Six, what it means for the college football playoff, and yes, ultimately what it means for USD, for SDSU, for Montana, Montana State, all the rest of the FCS.
Follow him at Matt J. Zimmer on Twitter if you're not, and he's there, SiouxFallsLive.com. These guys do a good job. Summit Championships underway. Matt, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
You bet, Nate. See ya.
Thanks a lot. Matt Zimmer tonight from SiouxFallsLive.com on the Nate Brown Show here on Fox Sports Radio. All right, good stuff. Let's go high school hoops. I want to have a big discussion with Marcus Traxler. He does a good job covering high school basketball for the Mitchell Republic. Marcus Traxler on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Upgrade early and save more with Renewal by Peterson. March into savings when you buy one window or door and get the second 40% off. With no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, you can upgrade your home to energy-efficient acclaim replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. And the best part is you pay nothing until 2027. Your first spring upgrade starts here, so don't wait. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Call a place. It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside. You don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on, and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in Your Sports, Your Show. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls. Glad you're here. Fox Sports Rapid City. Trying to track down Marcus Traxler, Mitchell Republic sports editor, talking high school hoops. We'll see if we can get him. We had him, and what do you call it? Technical difficulties. It's okay, Marcus. We're trying to find you. We're trying to get you. All right, let's see if we can track him down. Remember, our question of the day, let's get into this. I wanted to ask Marcus Traxler this as well. Question of the day, if you have not answered it. So a scenario playing out in Missouri high school basketball. There is a game that was already played in girls high school basketball. There was a scoring error in the third quarter. That team ended up winning by 1 point. They did have a little conversation about it. Hey, I think you missed this. I think you missed this. And nobody stopped the game and corrected it. And now the Missouri High School Activities Association is going back, and they're having them replay the game tonight. It's getting ready to go as we speak right now. So I'm intrigued by this scenario. As in the world of sports, you've got a team that already won by 1, but they were awarded a point that they shouldn't have, so that there was a 1 missed point on this thing, and then they're going to replay it from the start of the incident. 54 seconds left in a third quarter, and I've been asking the audience tonight, would you go back and replay that game? Would you go back and replay that game? 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067 on the Barons-Wilson text line. See if you can hit that one there for me, okay? Would you go back and replay that game? A lot of people have chimed in on this. I want to get your read on it on the Barons-Wilson text line. Let's see. 54% of the audience is still saying, yes, replaying that game is fair. I can't believe that. I am surprised by that. I just asked Matt Zimmer that, and he said, well, I guess I could go either way. He's never seen a game being replayed from the start of an incident. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. The game was already decided. Now they're coming back tonight to replay it from that deal. Games are totally different. I just stick with mistakes in sports happen, and so you just got to roll with it. You just got to roll with it. 54% of you are saying it's okay to replay the game. 46% of you are saying you can't go back. Okay, so then which side are we on to the other question of the day if you haven't chimed in on this one? Speaking of high school basketball, we have free access to our state tournaments, right? So we have free access to the state tournaments. It's outstanding. SDPB, I've stuck up for these guys big time, and I said, hey, we're lucky in the state of South Dakota to have free access and great coverage of South Dakota high school state basketball tournaments, because in North Dakota, they're complaining today. I'm seeing people online today with Dom Izzo. You know Dom from WDAY. He's been on the show quite a bit. Voice of North Dakota State, and he covers the state high school championships too. People are complaining in North Dakota that they have to pay to watch those. So they got a pay-per-view structure in North Dakota. Do you ever think that will hit South Dakota? SDPB keeps it free for now, okay? SDPB keeps it free for now. But I'm wondering if it will ever go to a pay-to-view situation. Our other question of the day, and it's split tonight. 51% of you say pay-per-view is coming to South Dakota. 49% of you say no, SDPB will keep it free. I think there's more to that story, if they can keep it free or not. I think we've got him talking high school hoops. I think he's in. Marcus Traxler, got a few minutes here. Let's do this. Mitchell Republic. Marcus, are you in? How are you?
I'm here. Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. We're ready to rock and roll. So let me get to this. SODAC 16 stuff's coming up. All that good stuff. We got some girls matchups tomorrow. You got AA coming up Friday as well. You got the boys. I'm going to go to Class B because I know this has been a big discussion, and I want you in on this. So Class B boys has some really good teams in East River regions, and more than, not 3 of them can't get out of a region. You guys have talked about this is why a SODAC 32 could be the way to go. Is this something that happens every year enough to say the SODAC 16 is not good enough?
Well, I mean, it does happen every year to some extent. I think, it varies in terms of how severe it is. I know we've seen it in the past. I can think of some regions in Class A. I know 8A in the past has had 3 or 4 really good teams, and you can only take 2. But I also think, like, the SODAC 16, to me, has worked very well. So I don't necessarily want to just throw out the SODAC 16, and I realize you'd sort of be adding on to it, but I also think the idea of playing games on a statewide basis for basketball in the round of 32, it just seems like a long way to go for, I'm not really sure how good the games would be. My solution would be, if you're worried about the regions being too difficult to get out of, maybe we have 4 super regions instead of 8 regions. I know that was kind of experimented with during COVID when certain teams couldn't play. Maybe that's an option to just sort of widen that bracket out so that 4 teams have a chance to make it to the SODAC 16 from those 4 super regions.
Okay, so that's interesting. You might go down that road. SODAC 32 has been brought up a lot, and it hasn't made it out of the basketball advisory committee meeting. Why do you think that is? Do you think it appears maybe some schools say, well, no, we don't want to change this whole thing because we have 8 regions, and if you can't make it out of your region, that's just the way it is?
I think there's an element to that, sure. I also think that I think school administrators, athletic directors, coaches, to a certain extent, that are on those committees are looking at, is this another chance to go play somebody all the way across the state? We're going to spend a lot of money busing our team to wherever to play this game. I don't know how appetizing that is for necessarily some of these programs. So I think everybody kind of understands, like, if we're bracketing on a 32-team basis over 16, yeah, the chances that you get the top 8 teams in seed points to the state tournament is certainly much higher. But I also think there are certain elements of the state that appreciate the regionality of, at least 2 teams are going to get to the game to get to the state tournament, and everybody's got a chance to go make that happen. Certainly, if you're Wessington Springs right now and you've been ranked in the top 5 or top 6 most of the month of February, and you've got to go play, number 1, number 2, number 3, wherever they are right now, that's not real appetizing. Same can be said for Freeman, Parks, and Viber Hurley. Only 2 of those teams, when they've put together the resume to be at the top of the seed point chart, I can understand the frustration.
Okay, since we're cut short, one quick hitter, Marcus Traxler, Mitchell Republic. You saw the Lincoln-Mitchell teams last year. Lincoln's back undefeated. Can they win the boys' title?
Absolutely, and I mean, they're going to be a huge favorite, no question about it, but I think we've seen, I think they're better than they were last year, but they have had close calls here in the last month or 6 weeks or so, over 3 games in 3 days. Can they get it done? I think they probably can, but there have been some teams here in AA that I think have made enough of a statement to at least, make it a challenge once we get to Rapid City.
MitchellRepublic.com. We'll do it again since we were short, man. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
All right, Marcus Traxler and MitchellRepublic.com. Just have a hard out here. We'll do it again as the high school postseason gets underway. Does a good job covering high school hoops for the Mitchell Republic. Who's hot and who's not? A scoring record in South Dakota coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee. Some bread just exists. From its origin in a land far away to its destination as a bland sandwich. Country Hearth, it's made right here in the Midwest and is ready to get busy in your kitchen. Grilled or toasted and stacked sky high with all the meats and veggies. This is bread with a purpose, making every sandwich better than the last. From classic comfort to creative cravings, Country Hearth is always the right base. Don't just build a sandwich, build a legend with Country Hearth.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows level off around 35. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times again. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain. Daytime highs approaching 72, lows around 30. Tomorrow night, slight chance for mixed precipitation. About an inch of snow tomorrow night through Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 64 degrees.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, let's roll on a Wednesday night. Packed show tonight. Checked in with Eric Peterson, USD men's coach, Matt Zimmer, Marcus Traxler briefly, the great Brian Noe. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It'll be up after tonight's show. Who's hot and who's not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Location in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. In my Who's Hot category, congrats to Marvin Richard III, Pine Ridge superstar guard, sets a single game scoring record for the state of South Dakota last night, 73 points. Marvin Richard III, unbelievable, 73 points last night. That's a single game record. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, Stephon Diggs. He's on the move. On the move again. Patriots releasing Stephon Diggs after one season. Well, Stefan, it just doesn't work out. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show, the podcast, going up now.
I didn't know anything about radon.